What up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Toxxic Rides, where today I'm going to show you how to do these the way that I do them. So sit back, hit that like and subscribe button. After the intro, I'm going to show you how we do this. Toxxic Rides. Now, when I'm doing my connection for the batteries, I use the solder method. A lot of people is going to say you crimp them, but for the past 20 years with not over 8 batteries, I just been using solder, and it's been real solid for me on all of my setups. So I'm gonna show you how to do this real easy, and it's real quick. To me, I feel a little bit safer with them soldered because I don't trust my crimping at all. I just don't. So we're gonna show you the solder method right now. Check it out. And if you like it, go ahead and do it. And then, hit them buttons. You know what you gotta do. So check this out. Now on my table, we got everything that you need right here. So here's my ends, copper ends. I got my power cable, 0 gauge. I got a butane torch. I think that's the best way to do it. Get your little cheap butane torch from anywhere. It works great. Got a little lighter. I got my solder, and I got my heat sink. I got some leftover solder too. I'm gonna go ahead and use that because we don't want it to go to waste. And then I got my little cheap, what do you call this thing? Vice grip. So that's the only thing that you need to do this. So we're gonna go ahead and knock it out real quick with the first step. Now, the first thing that I'm gonna do is get my cable, get one of your copper ends, and you wanna kind of measure that to see where you're gonna cut. That's about a 1/2 inch or so. So we're gonna go ahead and take the razor blade, cut 1/2 in on each side of the cable. So let's go ahead and do that. Brand new razor blade, just use a fresh one. Open that up real quick. Now we're gonna place this alongside of it so that we can go ahead and get that right cut. And just start it right here and just roll it. Once you roll it, cut a little slit right there, and you should be able to pull it right off. Just like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. Same thing. Go ahead and measure it out pretty good. Roll it, slide it, roll it. Then cut that slit. Be easy to come off. You gotta twist it just a little bit to make sure that those fine cables don't stick out anywhere. And you want to put it in here to make sure that it fits. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. Now we're gonna set up everything to get it ready to heat up. Now what I do is put them in the vise. I just put them in loose. I don't tighten them up because you really don't need to. But I put them both in. And when you start to heat them up, they won't fall. Everything will be good. You'll be straight on all of that. Let's move that up. And from there, since we know that the cable is ready to go, we're going to go ahead and grab our solder. This is a high temp solder. Works real good for this. So we're going to go ahead and light the torch and get them hot so we can do this. All right, so we're gonna get the torch lit. All right, now we're ready to do this. So first we're gonna go ahead and heat this up pretty good. And to me, this is a very simple method. What you want to do is get some fire on here, heat it up. Then we're going to go ahead and put this in there. And we're going to get it about halfway. We're going to go ahead and keep that going because we want to make sure it's hot. Once it's halfway in there, Just literally go ahead and stick it in there. And what I do is twist it a little bit to make sure that it's getting all of it. Let that cool down for a hot second. Now when it's good to go. Now we're just gonna strictly pick it up, start another side. Go ahead and put it in there. Fill it up halfway. Keep it hot. Now you want to make sure that these are facing the same way when you put it in, or else you're gonna have some problems. Let me go ahead and put that in there. You see the solder, and you just twist it around a little bit. And turn off the torch. You let that go ahead and set. See that? Good to go. Both sides are good. Now you finish. Now you might have some extra solder on there like that. You can burn. So let's go ahead and light this up. Turn it sideways a little bit, and it'll just drip right off. And I'm not worried about this table so much. I got a little screwdriver here, so what we're gonna do is just light this up and just let it drip. See that? Just like that. Super easy. Now you got it all off. So now everything is nice and cooled down. Next step is simply to put on your heat shrink. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, since I don't have no scissors on me, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this with the razor blade. You're not gonna have no issues with it. So we're gonna look at this, cut that up. And this one, we're just gonna slice it in half. Slice that up. All right. Now we got 2 pieces of heat sink right here. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this on. See if it's still hot. It's cooled down enough. And this might be too big. I don't know yet, but we're gonna find out right now. So we're gonna go ahead, because this is still kind of hot, this is gonna burn me up. We're gonna stick it in here real quick. You definitely want to let it cool down some, or else you're gonna burn your fingers. And then I guess we could use the torch real quick, because that's gonna be a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and hook the torch back up. Like that. We're just gonna work it a little bit right there, just like that. And now when it's done, I'm gonna go ahead and move this out the way and do the other side. Go ahead and loosen this up some, turn this around. Just lock it in just a little bit. Don't have to be super tight. Go ahead and slide this on there, right where you want it. We're gonna turn it on the other side because it look a little bit better. Just like that. Let's heat it up again. It's not perfect, but it definitely gets the job done. Put it on the bottom a little bit. And there you go. Now I'm gonna show you how they came out on my car. But like I said, I've been doing this for a long time and it's worked out pretty good. I haven't had no issues thus far. But like if you're doing them high power 10 batteries to the nose cars, I probably wouldn't suggest it, or maybe crimp them and then flow some solder in there just for extra security. But for low voltage cars, it definitely works. You won't have a problem with it. So let me show you what I got. All right, so this is my setup. And as you can see, connections are the same. I didn't put no heat sink on them yet because I'm going to change this. This is temporary just to get the car up so I can get the bumper on and all of that stuff. But that's how they came out. I've never had an issue with them so far, like I said, but other than that, you shouldn't have no problems. So that's the way that I do it. That's the easiest way for me. And I don't think you have no problems with it if you do it like that. Plus, like I said, I don't trust my crimps. All right. Now, you're going to have a lot of people in the comments saying that this is not the way to do it. These electricians and all of that stuff. But this has worked for me for a long time, probably 2 decades. So I have not had a problem with these, especially if you're running small lay in place setups. I would say 4 to 8 batteries, you will definitely have no problems with this. If you're running more than 8 batteries, then I would suggest you crimp them and then flow some solder into your little copper tube with the threads. And that's going to just give you double protection because you know when these fall off, you could short something out, cause some sparks, maybe even burn up your whole system or your whole setup. But this right here, I have not had any issues with none of my setups. So I would suggest it for your little lay in place setups 100%. Now, if you say it's wrong, that's fine. There's other ways to do it. And I'm not mad at that at all. I'm just showing you guys the way that I do it. So go ahead and check it out. Do it for yourself. And if you like it, you ain't had no problems with it, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're doing to your setups. And other than that, like and subscribe to the channel so I'll be putting out a lot more videos on some of this lowrider stuff. But right now, I'm finna get ready to go out of town and race these remote control cars. But like and subscribe to the channel, Toxxic Rides, and we out. Yes, sir.